All over the world, millions of Christians and even people from few other religions celebrate the birth of Jesus on the 25th of December, popularly known as Christmas. There are diverse beliefs surrounding the birth of Jesus, and today one of the conspiracy theories will be highlighted. Dr. Meredith from the University of Sheffield Institute Interdisciplinary Biblical Studies reveals lesser known stories from books left out of the Bible, which featured in ancient texts called Apocrypha. The Gospel of the New Testament, she said, only tell part of the story of how the earlier Christians envisioned Jesus' birth. Before we go into more details, if you just visiting the channel for the first time, please click on the red subscribe button and the bell close to it. Subscription is free. Mary's virginity was tested with a portion. We are familiar with Matthew's version of how an angel explains Mary's pregnancy to Joseph, but the Gospel of Luke only depicts Mary as being in on a plan. Joseph seems happy without an explanation. A 2nd century AD text, Proto-Gospel of James, an early Christian Gospel, described a test Mary had to undergo when her pregnancy was discovered by the local authorities. But Joseph and Mary are made to drink a portion, a test also described in Numbers chapter 5 verse 11 to 31, to review whether they have committed adultery. If they have, they will develop all sorts of physical ailments and pain. Joseph and Mary return unscattered, and their examiners believe their story. Later, after Jesus is born, a midwife reveals that Mary retained her virginity after giving birth. Mary had a painfree labor. With no proper birthing room, let alone an epidural, one might think Mary had a tough time during labor. Matthew and Luke skip over the birth, mentioning it only offhandedly. But some Christians were curious about the labor, as opposed to Luke's manger, Luke chapter 2 verse 7. Matthew doesn't say where the birth took place, on their way to Bethlehem. The Proto-Gospel of James describes how Mary gives birth in a cave. As soon as Mary enters the cave, it shines with bright light. A midwife arriving too late to help is shocked when he sees the meaningless old Jesus standing in his own faith with no blood on him. Mary is said to have experienced no pain at all. Following a star can take a while. In the New Testament, only Matthew includes the story of the Magi. We often call them wise men or kings, but the word doesn't imply royalty or even anything about gender who follow a star to Jerusalem looking to worship the King of the Jews. Matthew isn't specific on when the Magi arrived, but traditionally, people see them arriving after Jesus' birth. The Gospel of Matthew from the 7th century AD says it was 2 years later when they finally arrived to give their gift to Jesus, who was by then a toddler. A text written before the 5th century AD, called the Revelation of the Magi, tells the story of the star from the perspective of the Magi themselves. After expecting the star for many years, it finally comes down from the sky and takes the form of a human being. The Magi follow the star child, making progress across an enormous distance. They don't become tired or run out of blood, since the starlight causes the supply to always replenish. They wearing 3 wise men. Matthew doesn't say how many Magi came to give gifts, only that there were more than one, possibly because the specific gifts are named gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Traditionally settled on 3 as an appropriate number. The Magi don't have name in Matthew either, they get names around 500 AD. The Western Church called them Require, Caspar, and Balthasar, but in many early churches, especially in Syria, there were 12 Magi visiting Jesus and bringing him gifts. The donkey, the sheep, and the dragon. Today, Christians see carols describing how the animals around the manger recognize Jesus and worship him, even though the New Testament doesn't mention it. But we rarely hear songs about Jesus and dragons. In Matthew, while resting from their travel, Mary, Joseph, and a 2-year-old Jesus were surrounded by dragons. Jesus, unafraid, walks over and stands in front of the dragon, worshipped him, and then left in peace. Matthew finds this event prophesied in the Bible in Psalm 148 verse 7. Praise the Lord from the earth, O dragons, and all the places of the abyss. These are one of the many conspiracy theories surrounding the birth of Jesus. What are your beliefs? What do you know about the birth of Jesus Christ? Let us know in the comment section. And please remember to subscribe and click on the bell close to it for notification purpose Subscription is free, and don't forget to like, share, and comment. Merry Christmas in advance.